57, Parental Rights in Education, what critics call the Don't Say Gay bill, is on the Senate floor.
Does it say that in the bill?
Know that you support.
Does it say that in the bill?
I'm asking
you to tell me what's in the bill because you are pushing false narratives. It doesn't matter what critics say.
Hold on. It says it bans classroom instruction on sexual identity and gender orientation.
For who?
For
grades pre-K through 3. So 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds. And the idea that you wouldn't be honest about that and tell people what it actually says, it's why people don't trust people like you, because you peddle false narratives.
He's already dead.
Ron DeSantis and his Republican cronies have passed the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida. Ugh, how dare they? Republicans are worse than Nazis, I swear. Now, does the bill actually say the word gay anywhere? No. Is it called the Don't Say Gay bill? Well, no. But Democrats and the mainstream media told me to get mad. So I'm mad. Ron DeSantis is a transphobic Nazi. Sorry about that. My communist cousin, Comrade Gaston, gets a little carried away, agitated, and frankly has no idea what he's talking about. The guy voted for Biden, for God's sakes, and I think he's non-binary or whatever that means. Anyway, in today's video, I'm going to show you the reality of the Don't Say Gay bill. It's actually called the Parental Rights in Education bill. I think we can all get, behind the little parental rights, can we not? And then I'll show you what the bill does, why it came to be, and the positive effects it's already had. Before we get into the bill, which has now thankfully been passed into law, I want to show you some examples of the things that it will prevent. So take a look at this courtesy of Libs of TikTok, one of the best follows on Twitter. Scoop. KinderCare, a preschool corp with branches across America, has an extensive LGBTQ plus IA whatever curriculum, including activities to explore gender and sexuality. The activity says to switch caps on a marker to show what you are inside doesn't always reflect what you are on the outside. So this is for kindergarteners. Switch the caps on a set of markers so they don't match the colors inside. Talk with children about whether the color of the marker cap should match the color of the marker itself. Does it matter to children if what they wear on the outside represents how they feel on the inside? How would it feel if they weren't allowed to express their personality outwardly? You see, they get them young, in kindergarten. They're already putting these weird ideas into their head, making them question themselves, question reality. Wait a second. Maybe if I put a hat on, I'm a girl, just like the marker cap. The marker, not market. And I wanted to show you something else here. It might be too small. So here we have the definitions. Lesbians, women who love each other. Is that really the definition of lesbians? Gay, people from the same gender who love each other. Bisexual, people who love people from more than one gender. I love people from both genders. I guess I'm a bisexual. Transgender, where your gender identity, how you feel and identify yourself, is different than what the doctor or midwife assigned to you when you were born. You're not assigned a birth. You are what you are. They take the kid out, they check it. Oh, it has a dick. Guess what? It's a boy. Very simple. No one assigns you anything. Maybe God, if you believe he exists, he assigns it. And if you don't believe he exists, then I guess it's just nature, consequences, coincidence. It just happened. And it's reality. And we need to accept reality. And this is all over Florida. Here we go. Look at this. Boca Raton, Boynton Beach, Celebration, Florida, Clearwater, Coconut Creek, Daytona Beach. Okay. Thankfully, there's no Miami. That's where I am. But this is nuts. This is all in Florida. And guess what? It is no more. And to better illustrate an example of the positive effects of this law, I want to show you this Twitter thread by one of the best Twitter follows, again, Theo Jordan. This guy's a lawyer. He has a kid in school here in Florida, so he went through it. Check this out. I want to share a little story. I think it'll help you understand what all the Don't Say Gay mania is about. I'll explain why I chose mania at the end. Anti-ideologue educator. That's what this law in Florida should truly be called. And that would be fantastic, because we don't want our kids to be indoctrinated with any type of ideology. The root of these laws I can paint with a different short story. As I said, we're very happy with my daughter's public school. But one day she came home and out of the blue asked me about that fish that can change from a girl to a boy. Really? By the way, side note, this is how they do it. They put these concepts into children's books or into exams. They ask you questions that have nothing to do with the subject matter at hand, but they'll include fishes that turn trans. And then the little girl says, hey, I'm like the fish. Why can't I be like the fish? It gets worse. But let's go. She was in 2nd grade. Because these gender ideologues are in every school nationwide, in some counties they are formalized now and part of the school itself. In others, it's rogue individuals. In either case, the target is our children. And these programs and people are actively seeding their minds. Around the holidays, I received an email from her school asking me to sign a medical consent waiver. Okay, but I'm a lawyer. Me too. So I like to read that stuff. I want to see what the terms were, and lo and behold, there weren't any. Just some vague language and the space for my initials. Tip: if you see some vague language, tread carefully, because that's how they get you. Make sure the terms are always detailed and exact, because if they're not, you will get fucked. Believe you me. So I called the next day as there were no email, and I got a DM, a voicemail. But what message would I be leaving? So I just hung up and put it off. The form seemed to be about her getting aid at the nurse, some new parent authorization they needed on file. Almost like a refresher, it seemed. But was it? No, it was not. Closer to the due date, I'm copied on another email. It had a link to a FAQ, frequently asked questions. Interestingly, the first one was to dispel that the form consented to any inoculations. The Fauci ouchie, which, by the way, the Florida Surgeon General has recommended kids don't get it. I read on, and no shit if it doesn't say that part of what I'm giving consent to is things like counseling, referrals, therapy. What the fuck? I thought this was the school nurse. Now, it was carefully couched language, but it was there. So I keep reading. All I really care about is that it won't hold my daughter up from school. Do I have to sign this? Turns out, no, I don't. And in fact, the next question was, will my child still get emergency aid if no consent form? And the answer was yes. Not just yes, but says it will be rendered emergency aid and the parent contacted for direction and pickup. Well, shit. That's what I want the default from the school nurse to be anyhow. What exactly am I consenting to then? I'm consenting to that garbage above. The counseling leftist ideologue shit. And that's when the light bulb clicked. This was DeSantis' new Parents' Bill of Rights. It was going into effect on that date in January. It wasn't the refresher that was needed. His law made it illegal to give my girl counseling, referrals, therapy, bullshit without my consent. The thread keeps going, but I think I made the point. Now, this isn't about the current bill that just passed. This is about the Parental Bill of Rights that passed in January, which may even be more important. But look what DeSantis and the Florida legislature is doing for parents. Parental rights. Parental Bill of Rights. How important is that? Extremely important. Now, I'm not a parent myself, but I'm an uncle. And I don't want people indoctrinating my nephew into this garbage thinking that he could just question his reality, his sexuality. And then what? This is a sick story. I think it happened in California. I covered it a few weeks ago in one of my videos. A teacher put a girl into an LGBTQ plus allies club. Sounds nice, right? No, wrong. What they were doing were indoctrinating children into being queer. Lo and behold, the kid goes home and tells her parents, I'm trans. I'm actually a boy. And this is the first time the parents found out about this. The kid was actually suicidal because she didn't understand her reality. Am I a boy? Am I a girl? What am I? What is reality? And that's why it's so dangerous to put this thing in the kids' minds. But you know what? Why don't we take a look at some clips of what types of teachers are actually teaching this type of crap. Let's take a look at them and then, hey, maybe we'll analyze one or two.
As an American citizen, I find it truly disgusting that my country goes 40 steps forward just for people like the governor in Florida to take us 30 steps backwards. Don't say gay, Bill. Are you serious? Don't talk about what I went through and what my fellow gay LGBTQ plus community went through to get me here. Are you serious right now? Is the government sleeping? Why are they letting you do this? Isn't this the free country, the free world, freedom of speech? Don't say gay! That goes against freedom of speech! You cannot sit here and say being gay is not a choice when you're not gay. You don't know that. Now you want to make learning about our history illegal? You are literally making it harder for children to feel comfortable because conservative parents feel like it's not okay. They're not gay. It's not their place to talk about it. Stop being concerned with what other people like. This is
What the? Straight to jail.
If you were banned from teaching critical race theory, how would you continue to teach it?
This might not be helpful advice at all, but I'm gonna do it anyway. If I were non-renewed for teaching kids to think critically about race, power, and privilege, facts, and how to dismantle systems of oppression and white supremacy, I'll be gone, I guess. Luckily, there's a teacher shortage, so I'll find somewhere else to do the same thing.
Do I have any other option? Jail! Thank you, Judge. Thank you. Why don't we take one of these wonderful teachers' videos apart and see if maybe we would like that person to teach our children. Let's see.
As an American citizen, I find it truly disgusting that my country goes 40 steps forward just for people like the governor in Florida to take us 30 steps backwards. Don't say gay, Bill. Are you...
Look at those nails. Look at those nails.
serious? Don't talk about what I went through and what my fellow gay LGBTQ plus community went through to get me here. Are you serious right now? Is the government sleeping? Why are they letting you do this? Isn't this the free country, the free world, freedom of speech? Don't say gay. That goes against freedom of speech.
There's no freedom of speech in public schools. That's the law. But this guy doesn't know it because he's just a, dirty public school teacher who has no idea what he's talking about, no idea what he's teaching. He's an activist, an ideologue, and his nails are fucking long and painted and sparkly. Don't say gay! Don't say gay! The people before you, you're right, they struggle a lot. And they got you your rights. You have all your rights. You can get married, you can do whatever you want. Here's what you can do. Indoctrinate kids. From kindergarten to third grade. Is that too much to ask? Why do you need to talk about gender and sex to little babies? Why?
You cannot sit here and say being gay is not a choice when you're not gay.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that. And we're going to get to the text of the bill later. Nobody said that.
You don't know that. Now you want to make learning about our history illegal? You are literally making...
No, that's not what the law is doing. It's not making gay history illegal. It's not.
It harder for children to feel comfortable because conservative parents feel like it's not okay. They're not gay. It's not their place to talk about it. Stop being concerned with what other people like. This is disgusting. In America...
By the way, this whole concept that people can't talk or opine about something that they are not. Like, I can't opine about the abortion because I'm a man. I can't opine about the gays because I am not a gay. It's ridiculous. What are you talking about? Anyway, let's move on from this crazy guy to... I know it's hard to believe, but this is actually more cringe than this guy. Tweet from the Florida Senate Democrats. We've got one thing to say to our GOP colleagues. Gay! These are serious Democratic politicians. Gay, 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 gay. Gay, 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 gay. Gay, 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 gay. You see, I could say the word gay and nothing's gonna change just because you sing. These people are cringe, dumb, and a waste of space. And they are making our laws. Thankfully, this is Florida and they have no power here because this is a red state. Red, like my hair, like the flag, like the color of victory. Anyway, let's move on. I like this tweet. So I'm going to show you this tweet, and then we're going to move on to the actual text of the bill. I just read Florida's so-called Don't Say Gay bill for the first time. It's 7 pages, 163 lines, and 1,462 words. The word gay does not appear once. My favorite comment? Shockingly, Democrats lied and the media ran with it. Shocking indeed. So, here we are at the bill. If you made it to this part of the video, thank you so very much. And I hope you stay, but I will understand if you just want to go and read it yourself. We're going to read 7 pages of dense text, and you might not enjoy it. So let's read. An act relating to the parental rights in education, amending whatever, requiring district school boards to adopt procedures to comport with certain provisions of law for notifying a student's parents of specified informations, requiring such procedures to reinforce the fundamental rights of parents to make decisions regarding the upbringing and control of their children in a specified manner. Let's stop right there. Isn't that a great thing? Isn't that great? Giving parents the decisions of upbringing and the control of their children. Prohibiting the procedures from prohibiting a parent from accessing certain records. Of course, parents should have access to all records about their kids. Providing construction, prohibiting a school district from adopting procedures or a student support from forms that prohibit school districts personnel from notifying a parent about specified information or that encourage or have the effect of encouraging a student to withhold from a parent such information. Of course, you don't want teachers to, plan out with the students things, tell them things, and then say, hey, don't tell your parents, or encourage them not to tell the parents, because then what you get? A very confused child finally goes home and is suicidal. We've seen it before, we'll see it again. Not in Florida. Let's keep going. Where else? Prohibiting school districts for personnel from discouraging or prohibiting parental notification and involvement in critical decisions affecting a student's mental, emotional, or physical well-being. Fantastic. Providing construction, prohibiting classroom discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity in certain grade levels or in a specified manner, requiring certain training developed or provided by a school district to adhere to standards established by the Department of Education, requiring school districts to notify parents of healthcare services and provide parents the opportunity to consent or decline such services. Obviously, don't you want parents to have that ability, to consent or decline medical services for their children? Obviously. Children are not property of the state. It's getting long. I gotta stretch my legs. Requiring school districts to provide parents with certain questionnaires or health screenings forms and obtain parental permission before administering such questionnaires and forms. Requiring school districts to adopt certain procedures for resolving specified parental concerns, requiring resolutions within a specified time frame. Fantastic. If not, you're there waiting for forever and you gotta do a FOIA request. Requiring the Commissioner of Education to appoint a special magistrate for unresolved concerns, providing requirements for the special magistrate, requiring the State Board of Education to approve or reject. Okay, special magistrate, we don't particularly care about that part, so let's go here. Be it enacted, blah, blah, blah. Okay. In accordance with the rights of parents enumerated in the previous law we spoke above before, adopt procedures for notifying a student's parents if there is a change in the student's services or monitoring relating to the student's mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being and the school's ability to provide a safe and supported learning environment for the student. Of course, parents should always be notified about any small detail pertaining to their children. The procedures must reinforce the fundamental right of the parents to make decisions regarding the upbringing and school and control of their children by requiring school district personnel to encourage a student to discuss issues. Okay, I feel like now I'm repeating myself. I guess I'm not going to read you the whole thing. I read it before. I promise you the word gay doesn't appear. If you want, here. Command find. There we go. Okay. Gay. It doesn't come up. Let's do command find trans. Training, transmitted. Trans, no trans. What about LGBT? No, nothing. Nothing about gays, nothing about trans, nothing about LGBTQ. All this bill is doing is saying parents can't teach certain specific things about gender and sexual identity to kids from kindergarten to 3rd grade. Schools must notify parents with any change regarding to their children, specifically regarding to their mental, physical, and emotional well-being. This gives parents more rights over their children. This takes rights away from the government in regards to your children. How could you not be behind this? The only reason for you not to be behind this is because you haven't read the bill. It's because you've watched CNN and you've heard Nancy Pelosi talk, and you just, Democrats mainstream, meh, 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 meh. It's all fake. Please, just take a look at it for yourself. It's a great bill, and it should be duplicated across the country. That's it for me. That's it for me today. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, like, subscribe, share it. This is an important one, right? People need to know about this because the Don't Say Gay bill is everywhere and it's just fake news. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Subscribe, like, follow me on Twitter, BitTrue, Odyssey, all the platforms. I'll see you next time.